Yes, sir.
or brand strategist.
Yes, sir.
So what are the key focus areas for building a brand in Nigeria?
Okay. If you are in this country, and you want to build a brand, I think the first thing that you should look out for is clarity. You need to be clear on what you want to build on. When you understand what you want to build, it will determine your audience and the strategy that you will use. So when people reach out to me and they are saying that they want to build a brand, I'll first of all ask them, what is your focus? So once you give me that answer, maybe you want to start selling something like clothes and you want to build a brand around that. It will determine your audience. And now that you've known what you want to do and you've seen your audience, it will determine the platform that you should specialize on. For instance, if you want to sell clothes, it's more of videos and yes, videos mainly. You have to do videos of you wearing them and stuff. It will determine the platform that you should show yourself more. It's not like you cannot build on any platform, but now, if you are selling clothes, you should build more on platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, rather than LinkedIn. So I think the first few steps for anyone who wants to build a brand in Nigeria is clarity, knowing what you want to go for. That is the foundation that will determine your audience, your platform, and the rest of the things that you need.
Okay, so how do you make brand stands out? Like there are too many brands already, and probably you are not the person branding all of them.
Yeah.
So if it happens that maybe within a corner, per square meter of a premise, that there are different brands that almost does the same thing, how do you make yours stand out?
Wow. Okay. For instance, let me just use an example. You are on sky blue, I'm on white. If someone with red should step into this room, it will be noticeable, right?
Yes.
So for you to stand out in anything that you do as a brand, you have to be different. Find a unique spot in the market and stand in that gap. Once you do that, you will stand out. So what I do when people reach out to me, especially people like, okay, for instance, I have someone who is a graphic designer and he wants me to help him out. So the first question now is, as a designer, what is your niche? You know, people think once you as a person chooses to start designing, you found your niche. Your niche is that particular problem you solve in the market as a person. Like a particular spot you feel in the market. That's what we call niche, not actually a group of things that people do. So now as a graphic designer, we have hundreds of them out there. How do we start? You can choose to design only for schools. Once it's anything concerning schools, education, meet me. So you notice that in the market full of designers, one school or education is mentioned, one person's name appears. You can choose to brand only for fashion designers. You can choose to brand only for food company, maybe chefs or stuff. And make sure that once you fill that spot in the market, you are excellent. So how do I do mine? Once you come to me, I look for a unique spot. I think I'm talented in that. I can actually determine, okay, I'm not seeing this kind of thing here. And I'll make you do it. I will suggest it. If it suits you, you can go with that way. You can stand out among the hundreds of brands that we have.
Okay, so you mean that not necessarily being the master of all, since I'm a graphic designer, so I should be designing any brand I see, that in order to stand out,
Yes.
I should find a niche.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree with that. Okay, so you tell stories. Do you sell brand with stories?
Definitely.
Okay, so tell me how important storytelling is for Nigerian brands.
Okay. As a Nigerian starting out, I grew up hearing stuff like the tortoise and the lion, the chicken and this. Like we were raised with storytelling. So it's already a part of us. You know one thing about selling to a locality or a particular country, when you come to that place, you have to look for what is relatable to them, what they are already used to. That's the way you would get access to them. For instance, they say if you go to, which example should I use now? Okay, let me say something like, if you want to, if you find yourself in the midst of dumb people that cannot talk, for you to get the attention or for you to make them listen to you, have to act dumb. Now you can talk, but you have to use sign to draw their attention. So when you step into a locality, or if you want to get the heart of people, you have to find something that is unique to them, something that they are used to.
They can relate
that
to.
way, they can listen to you. They will feel like, you are part of us, so let's listen to you. So as Nigerian, we grew up hearing stories of tortoise, the lion, and stuff. So we are used to storytelling. For you to make a Nigerian man stop scrolling through Facebook and read your content, you must have used something like, Mama Nkechi went to market by 12 a.m. That person will be like, let me read this story first. The tortoise did this. They will be like, let me read this story. So for you, for as a brand, is important for you to thrive in this country, especially. It's important to use storytelling. Like, it's very, very important.
Okay, so in that storytelling, is it like it's peculiarly like I should fashion it around the particular brand or tell related stories? Like recently, I heard Facebook is having some crackdown on people that are posting unrelated pictures and making content that related to the pictures. So do I have to fashion my storytelling around, like, if this is a media organization, with my tortoise and which other animal story, how to relate to media, or can I tell any story at all?
Okay, one thing I do tell people is that as a business, you need to be updated. Like, you need to be up to date. Trends come and go. Your own duty is to join trends. Yes, I advise people to join trends, but just like a root of a tree doesn't change, but the leaves change. At the point, the leaves will turn green. At the point, it will be yellow. At the point, it will be brown. It will fall up, and it keeps repeating that cycle, but the roots remain the same. So as a business, you need to know your voice. So no matter the trends that comes out, even if you want to jump into it, don't compromise. Don't allow the roots to be affected. So if you want to use storytelling as a brand, you must not necessarily use the tortoise and stuff. You know, one thing I tell people is that before that business, you are the person. So people need to relate to the person behind the business or behind the product. So for instance, as a brand strategist, if you come to my timeline, you see stuff about businesses. I drop a whole lot about businesses. Then you hear me say something like, I love oranges. I'm craving for oranges. People now feel the personality behind the product. That's the way they will relate with you more. You know, I advise people not to go for pages alone. Go for personal profile. Let people feel the person behind the product. That way they can relate. People connect with people. Human beings connect more with human because they feel like you understand them better. So you will use storytelling. You can tell us about how your day went. I had an issue with someone. This is what I learned. Just make us feel at home at your timeline. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so how crucial is digital presence for today's business growth? Because in the past we did not have such digital privileges, opportunities, and platforms. But recently, I have come to learn that if you are not on social media, it was actually the biggest quote that you will be out of business very soon. So how crucial? Tell us the more important hidden points that will enable every one of us, even the elderly generation still in business, to adopt digital presence.
Okay, how do I put it? Just like the energy of a business or the oxygen of a business. For instance, let me just put it this way. You know, in the Bible, all the times that Jesus was recorded teaching people, the Bible didn't tell us that he went inside the bush and was talking to leaves. So you notice that he normally comes to where people are. When the multitude were gathered, he began to speak to them. So even Jesus, our perfect example, showed us an example of, for you to sell whatever you are doing or talk to, just make sure that your audience are listening. So you notice that in this era, that everything seems to be happening on internet. Business is on phone, like every single thing. For you to sell to those people, you don't have to go to where they are not. You have to find them wherever they are. That's the way you get them to hear what you are even saying. Because a man screaming in the bush, nobody will buy from you. So where do I find these people? They are everywhere on the internet. What do you now do? You pick whatever you are selling and go to their location. That's the way you sell out whatever your product is. Yes.
Okay, so if like I happen to have an experience where I actually went to the market with an app I designed.
Okay.
So I had a struggle of marketing it. The app was supposed to, it's the visual market.
Okay.
I don't need to get to Unko to know that there is A line, there is F line.
Yeah.
I'll just be seeing it on my app.
Okay.
And I can actually track stores.
Wow.
So it's something that it does not even exist. But what happened? I took it to the market. They told me that they are not interested. And so it means that the market, they actually, at first sight, they still rejected my digital platform. Is there a way I can further convince them that this innovation can make your business stand out?
Okay. I think I have similar issue with someone recently. The girl was like telling me that I want to start something, but this location, I don't think it can favor me. And I don't told that is a lie. For me as a strategist, I don't believe that whatever you have cannot work. Like it doesn't count. Yes, location is very important, but I think the difference between these people and these people is knowledge. If you can come down to your lowest and explain to that audience you are seeing whatever you are selling, they will buy from you. So most times people don't buy what they don't know. Okay, imagine you now taking a cake to maybe someone that has been told not to eat eggs again, maybe for medical reasons or something. The person will not buy no matter how sweet your cake is. So how do you get that same person to buy your cake? Hello, sir. My name is this. I'm a baker. I know that doctor have asked you not to eat cake, but now I no longer use eggs. This is what I use in replacement. I will end up making that same patient to eat cake just because you told them something. So the difference between this and this is knowledge. So now, for what you said, you cannot just take something that is digital to the marketplace filled with local women to tell them to buy. They don't care. So how do you get these same people to buy? Explain it to them. How do you do that? For instance, you don't have to maybe call, okay, this is 1 million naira. This is why you should buy it. You might go ahead to tell that uncle man that is into business, something like, hello sir, do you know that you can actually be on a business trip and you are tracking your store to know what your boys are doing? If you go to the market, most of them now have cameras everywhere because they know they are upgrading. So for them to even buy that camera, they have seen the importance. They must have seen the dangers of them not having it. There's something we call FOMO in marketing, fear of missing out. For you to get someone to buy whatever you are selling, you have to create a strong one. If you don't eat this thing now, you will die. The person will be like, my life is important, to let me eat. So for you to get these people that don't understand what you are selling to buy from you, you have to create tension. What is the danger of them not buying it? Make them understand it. There's a way you talk to a JST student, the person will understand. There's a way you talk to a 100-level student in the university, they will understand. So the point is, break your grammar. Just make it very simple for them. Hello, if you don't buy this product, look at dangers, and it's something that is painful. So I guess they will have to choose your product than face the danger.
In other ways, you are marketing the solution, not your product. Either.
Definitely, yeah, you're right, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So, markets brand consistency. Okay. Market is rapidly changing. I mean, especially the technology market. And some other markets, it's not what you met today that you are meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
Even in some other electronics stuffs, you are meeting this solar design, solar light design. You are planning to save up money. You go there's something else. So how do you balance brand consistency with market changes? Because if you leave somebody, he might brand for a shoe brand and use it to, because he's running out of business, and you might try to use it to sell a fan or something like that. So how do you balance your brand consistency? We are solving this problem, we are this, with rapid market changes.
Okay, when I was talking about trends, I mentioned it. Just make sure that your root is not affected. But the leaves can change. They can evolve, but your root is not affected. That's one of the reasons why I started this movement, Market Tour. And I've realized that most businesses are struggling because they are outdated. As a business, you need to do anything within your possible power to stay on top of the sea. Like, you need to be updated all the time. For instance, in this generation, Gen Z generation now, that things don't trend. Okay, how do I put it? If you go to TikTok and someone wears something different, the thing begins to trend. So how can you cope in such environment without being updated? As a brand, consistency is important. It's very, very important. For instance, if you taste what you gave me today and I love it, tomorrow I'll come back for that same thing. And if I happen to taste it tomorrow and it's not the same thing, like I'm gone forever. I won't come back again, because one big mistake is very dangerous in business. So as a brand, staying consistent is very important. I know that you might be scared of, the trend keeps changing, the market keep evolving. How do I stay relevant? The best answer to this question is just keep to the trends. At the time, something like nothing do my show that was raining, jump into it. I can just say something like, okay, it's not something related to business now, but I can come out and say nothing do my show that I'm the best brand strategist in the world, something of that nature. I am joining the trends, but without losing my roots. Yes, so I think that answers the question.
All right. So I want to go a bit political, then get back into branding. Something happens between foreign powers like United States and Arabian countries, that most Arabian countries that we have active terrorism there. Something happens. The former president of Syria, current Syria president, sorry, he was once an international FBI most wanted or stuff like that. So now he maybe complied with the Western powers, and they removed the former president who fled to Russia. And now the West now recognizes him as an icon of courage, an icon of struggle, winning your struggles and independence or something like that. So now that should be a form of rebranding. So do you also believe that rebranding can solve problems, and can you share a success story of where your brand, a brand you've worked with, like succeeded, a brand that should out on a normal, not maybe stand chances in the market?
Okay, I think my answer to this question is very direct. As a business, you have to be updated. Rebranding can happen anytime. Our main goal is, once you are rebranding, just choose what you know that will work out for you. Don't change don't change every 2 years. Don't change every 3 years. So you have to listen well, think well, see well before changing to another thing. Like the man you said earlier, he was once someone that was wanted. Now he's now someone that people look up to.
That means rebranding or branding can work.
Yes,
it can change public perception of something.
Yes.
Okay. So is there any practical story of where you've actually applied, even if you are not mentioning the names of brands, you applied branding to a brand and to a company, and it worked out?
Okay, I will just cite one that happened recently. I had a client. She's a customer specialist. Yes, she's a customer representative, sorry. So when she reached out, she was like, Maho, please, I want to build a strong brand around this thing. She was already into the business already, gaining clients and all that. But then when she got to me, I'm a kind of that sensitive person. And before I start anything with any client, we go on a clarity call where we take time to talk about your passion. Why do you want to do this? What is the vision about? I will ask you questions. And many of them at that point of clarity call give up on what they want to do. You realize that this person has something more to this. You can actually suggest to that person, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? So when the lady came, we got talking. Alongside, she was like, after considering the questions that you asked, I realized that I'm scared of this. Can I do another thing? I sent her close to 50 things that she can go for. She chose her choice. We began working on that. And she's very happy now. So she had to go to LinkedIn, Facebook, change everything. I told her you can choose to carry your audience along. Hi everyone, I upgraded. I'm now from this. You can tell, depending on how active your audience are. You need to consider those people that have been following you, engaging on your posts and all that. Then she chose to rebrand. And from a customer specialist, she turned to a ghostwriter. And she's doing very well. Very happy.
Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so what branding mistakes should Nigerians avoid in business?
Okay. Of recent, I've been going around the market, meeting amazing people, and I've learned a whole lot. So I'll just leak all of the secrets. As a brand or as a business, I'll advise you, be honest. Be honest. Being honest entails in your pricing, I'll just focus on pricing, especially because that's where most of us feel our part. For instance, client A reaches out to you as a business. Hello, I want your services, and you charge that person 70K because you think that's the normal price. Then client B reaches out, and you've seen that this person came with Benz or Venza. Let me just increase the price. You just tell the person, maybe bring 150K. They might pay you. But if anything happens and they realize that you charge them way higher, like it is gone, you've lost that person forever. And one bad thing about business is that one bad person or one bad impression can go around the whole market. So as a business, choose honesty. Choose to be honest. Okay, one of the men that we interviewed yesterday during the tour was, the man was like saying, when he came to the shop that morning, he met one of his boy selling something for 98,000 naira. The normal price was 90,000. So he said, when I was coming in, I had him bargaining with the client. The person was about to pay, like, call your account number, let me transfer. So he was asking, what is this person buying? They told him. He was like, no, sir, it's 90,000, not 98. Just imagine the impression that he created in the man's heart. The man might go around telling friends and family, go and buy from this man who is a good man. So as a business, just be honest. Do you know it's better you take your price so high that some people cannot get there, but stay consistent. Don't reduce the price because you think this person cannot afford it. Once you place it, be there. So one of the branding mistakes I see most businesses do is inconsistency in pricing, and copying others is also a major something I'm going to point out. As a business, stay true to whatever you are doing. Okay, when I started out as a brand strategist, many people understood it, but then I knew that there was something that is in my heart. It was also, I was not seeing anyone doing that exact thing, but it just kept coming. I paid attention. So this market tour that we are currently on is, I think this is the first time anyone is taking this kind of decision. People have been making researches their way, but this is like a different movement altogether. And I know where we are heading to.
So give us a glimpse of what the market tour is about.
Okay, this movement is something that we started so that businesses will have to launch with clarity. I realized that as a strategist, one of the unique way I used to attend to people is that once you reach out to me, I take out time to invest. I study, I research to bring out something. You will notice when I say that if you want to stand out in the market, be unique. I personally take out the time to look out for a gap in the market that will suggest to my client, okay, according to what you are doing, I discovered that this place is missing out in this big market. Fit in here. Do it this way. It will work out. So I don't have a general course for just everybody. Once you come, I create your own for you. So that's why it seems like mine is a way costly, but it's always worth it. Okay, for instance, I was speaking at a radio program somewhere last month, and one of the things the lady asked me a question that made me create my ideal client. And the question, I think she asked me how I would advise a startup or something. Then I told her that as a person, I've noticed that in the fashion industry, there is no particular person known for Ankara sewing. The only thing the person sews is Ankara. Have you seen such? No. So I told her, as a business, I've noticed that this is a gap in the fashion industry. So if I want to start out as a fashion designer now, I'm going to look. Someone is already into bridal clothing, corporate wears, people are doing it already. What is the gap? I would identify the gap by making researches. So I would identify the gap by making researches. Now, I would now check, what are people not doing? There are people that loves Ankara, like that's their favorite, but they might not really be wearing it because they think it makes them look outdated and all that. So I can now stand out as that tailor or as that fashion designer who will make you look beautiful in your Ankara materials. So one of the step I just listed is that don't copy others. Look for a unique space in the market. Start with it. And once you choose something that you want to start out with, carry it on your head. So this market tour is specifically for struggling businesses or people that are still starting out that want to stand smart. So once you reach out to me, we take our time with my team. We go on investigation. okay, of recent, we are on the team communication in business, and the team of this store is what determines the audience that we'll be having. If you notice in my flyer, I have up to 6 like them, but generally we are up to, I have up to 15 people that I actually have for this store, but you can see only 6 on the flyer. So yesterday I went into the market. I visited old women, most of them 40 years in business, 35 years. You need to see what they were telling us. We learned a whole lot, and it is for the public. So as a business, climbing on top of those I'm ahead of you saves you a lot of money, stress, mistakes, and all that. So this store is what we started so that we help you to launch with clarity. We go on interviews, we visit people that are already ahead of you in the game, we ask them questions about that your niche. Note, we are not asking them these questions to copy their exact strategy. We ask them this question, and before the end of the talk for that particular topic, we will pick out a problem, and you will be the solution to that problem.
Okay. All right. So there is one question I want to ask.
Okay.
So most people are confused about what branding is about, because people believe that if you have your logo and your signboard, you are good to go. It's branding any different from that belief? Is there additional things that you can say this is branding that a layman will understand? That when you mention branding, I want to brand my company.
Yeah.
What's it's entirely about?
Okay. Branding is very simple. You know, if you make it look like your logo and your banner is branding, you are actually making some people back off, because there are people that are starting into business without money. So they will now think like, I don't have 1 million naira to design a logo. Let me stop first. You are limiting others. So as a strategist and someone who has been into branding for a long time now, I would just define branding as the impression you create on people. If I leave this room now, what do you think about this girl? What impression did I create? With the way I talk,
Energy.
with the way I talk, with the way with my step. You know, when I first stepped in, the way I walked, my facial expression will tell you a whole lot about me.
Yes.
So branding is just that impression that you create on people. What does your product do to people? If you are selling shoes, just know that you are selling a feeling, not just a product. People want to climb on heels so that they will be confident, they will look professional. So you have to tell me, hello ma, okay, for you to look more professional, buy my heels. If I'm saving my 5,000 naira for something important, because of that feeling, I want to feel confident to, I want to look like Oyibo, let me buy your shoe. I will spend the money I was not planning to spend just to look confident. So people buy feeling. So branding is just the impression you create on human. Yes.
Okay. All right. What advice can you give businesses coming up in future about branding to make their brands to stand out?
Okay, I think I'm seeing a major problem in business that is limiting a whole lot of people. So my advice to younger ones or people that still want to start a business is be yourself. Be real. Like, be real. If your energy is mean, be mean. If you have to smile, be smiling. If you have to dance, be dancing. For me, you will never see me dancing. I don't know how to dance. And like even in church, thank God I'm in the media team. You see me carrying my camera up and down. I don't used to dance because I don't know how to dance. You can complain all you care. So it's just you being real. Most businesses think just because who do I use as an example now? Just because Brainjetta is dancing and having followers, you just want to start out in business. Let me go and learn how to dance well so that I will be popular like Brainjetta. Bro, be real, be yourself. I know that this is limiting a whole lot of people and creatives. They are just there waiting to look like this person before they will now start. Let me go and dress like, let me learn to talk like, be yourself. Take out time. What is that uniqueness that you have as a person? Your own might be that when you step into a room, the energy changes. Your own might be that when you step into, people get to laugh. Even if your brand is about medicine, you sell drugs or you are a nurse, and you have this ability to make people laugh, bring it to the table. Write your content in such a way that people get to laugh when learning. So my advice to younger ones is be yourself, be real. Like all these people thriving in their different, they are unique because they are real. And one thing about being yourself, it will help you to stay consistent. It will help you to last long. For instance, if you make me pose for a picture, it's not my normal way of standing, and maybe I'm raising one of my legs up, and you make me stay like that for 30 minutes, I'll get tired. So, but if I'm standing in my normal way of standing, I can stay for long. I will stay for hours without getting exhausted. So, as a business, if you are real, it will help you to stay for long. But if you want to copy what you think is working, you will see that you cannot pretend for too long. So, my advice to young businesses is don't back up because you think you are not like this person or that person. Start whatever you know you can. Be proud of that, your uniqueness. Be proud of it. Carry it on your head.